तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः.
I began my adventure to India by flying from Seattle to Delhi, India, with stops in Tokyo, Japan, and Bangkok, Thailand. These flights took me almost halfway around the world. My travels with India included travel to Delhi, Agra, and Jaipur, which is commonly called the Golden Triangle. I also flew to Khajuraho to tour the World Heritage Site that features temples of the Chandela dynasty. This memorial bears the names of 90,000 Indian Army soldiers who died in World War I and in the Afghan War of 1919. This Hindu temple was built in 1938 and dedicated to Vishnu, the preserver, and his wife, Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. Okay, this is the president's house. These footprints trace the last walk that Gandhi took from the house to the garden before a Hindu fanatic assassinated him in 1948. This small pillar in the garden marks the spot where Gandhi was assassinated. The Baha'i temple, also known as the Lotus Temple because it is designed to appear as a lotus flower, was completed in 1986 and welcomes people of all faiths to visit and pray or meditate silently according to their own religion. India has the world's biggest train network with about 38,000 miles of track. It is the most reliable way to get about in India. I took the train from Agra to Delhi on my last day in India and found it to be an enjoyable way to travel. The trains you see here are the local ones that are crowded to overflowing. You can see the people getting on and off while the train moves through the station. I found that the crowds at the train station as well as on the street were almost overwhelming to me. As you can see in the street scene, the cars, buses, tuk-tuks, rickshaws all competed for the same space and used their horns to make their way along the streets as much as they used their brakes. I also found that in the flow of the crowds, my personal space was so much less than I was used to anywhere else. People did not seem concerned as they bumped and brushed into you along the sidewalks and even when spilling out onto the streets. This is the beginning of the Jama Bazaar area of Delhi, where the crowds of people are tremendous and bargains are many. In this area of the bazaar, I found many fabric and clothing stores clustered together. I selected the fabric for 2 saris for my family here, and then wandered through the rest of the bazaar to return just 2 hours later to pick up the finished saris. It was just before the Diwali festival period, so the women were wanting to purchase new clothes for that celebration. Atalu Kion, who is another Room to Read sponsor and mother of Aaron Kion, the Chief Operating Officer of Room to Read, joined me touring Delhi before visiting some of the Room to Read staff and their activities. We had lunch at the Ali Jazuri restaurant opposite the Jama Mosque. The young man outside the restaurant was baking naan in his flaming oven. We had some delicious mutton curry along with the fresh naan before touring the mosque. Okay, this is the Jama Mosque in New Delhi. Jama Mosque literally means Friday mosque, and on Fridays this plaza area holds thousands of worshippers on this holy day of the Muslim week. It is the largest mosque in India and was constructed between 1644 and 1658. Everywhere we go, we gather crowds of children eager to have their pictures taken, especially if we have digital cameras. In the background, Adalu Kion is showing some of the kids the pictures she took of them.
Okay.
Here we are riding a rickshaw toward the Delhi Red Fort, and our driver is going against the traffic.
Who would expect a guy coming the wrong way?
Shah Jahan built the Red Fort, known as Lal Kila, between 1638 and 1648. The Diwan-e-Am, known as the Hall of Public Audience, was where the emperor would sit and hear complaints or disputes from his subjects. Justice was also dispensed here, with the convicted being put to death using various methods: poisonous snakes, the stomp of an elephant's foot, or beheading. Zafar's Pavilion was named after the last Mughal emperor. The British banned him to Burma in 1857, where he died in 1862, pining away for his homeland. The Khas Mahal was the emperor's private palace, divided into rooms for worship, sleeping, and living. The palace is replete with inlaid marble screens. Aurangzeb built this totally enclosed pearl mosque for his personal use. The outside is aligned with the other buildings in the Red Fort, but the inside is oriented toward Mecca. As I was preparing to meet up with the Room to Read staff and supporters, I saw this rickshaw bus go by the front of my hotel, the Ajunta. Erin Kion Ganja and her mother, Adalu Kion, met me for the tour that Erin arranged for us. Erin is joined here with Sunisha Achya, our India country director. Erin is the Chief Operating Officer of Room to Read, an organization that seeks to provide increased literacy by providing schools, libraries, girls' scholarships, computer and language labs, and lots of books. The first meeting is with Prantham, one of our many partners. Erin is meeting with the principal of the first school we visit. We then visit some of the classrooms.
In fact, what they were also trying to do as part of a reorganization within Pratham was trying to kind of adopt an area-based approach so that they concentrate in one particular area.
At the second school, Bindi is asking the students about how they use the school library and who reads the books when they take them home, along with other questions. This school is very crowded, so in the morning the girls attend, and in the afternoon it is the boys' turn. Here's the bazaar near the train station during the evening. You can see the sacred cows get a pretty free run here. Again, whether it is night or day, these shopping streets are always filled with people. It seems that there is never any concern for giving each other any personal space. I found myself just jostling along with the crowd to get where I wanted to go, with frequent small brushing up against each other. The horn honking was as common as breathing. The Kandari Art and Cultural Show in Khajuraho features dances from around the various Indian states.
There was
Khajuraho is known for its ornate temples that are among the most beautiful medieval monuments in India. The Chandela rulers built these temples between 900 and 1130. Originally there were 85 temples in Khajuraho, but only 25 now survive in various stages of preservation. These temples are superb examples of Indo-Aryan architecture, but it's the decorations with which they are so liberally embellished that have made Khajuraho famous. Around the temples are bands of exceedingly artistic stonework showing many aspects of Indian life a millennium ago. Gods and goddesses, warriors and musicians, real and mythological animals. But two elements appear over and over again in far greater detail than anything else: women and sex.
This is the Lakshmana temple, and I'll be taking pictures of the outer frieze. And these are the erotic poses, all types of positions and people.
Stone figures of apsaras, or celestial maidens, appear on every temple. They pout and pose for all the worlds. In between are the Mithuna, erotic figures running through a whole Kama Sutra of positions and possibilities.
Even animals get into the scene here.
All of these temples are embellished with row upon row of sculptures of people, gods, and goddesses, and animals both real and mythical. The sanctuary of the Lakshmana temple contained the three-headed and four-armed image of Vishnu as Vaikuntha. Chitragupta Temple is the only temple in Khajuraho dedicated to Surya, the sun god. Fatehpur Sikri was built by Akbar the Great, and it was the capital of the Mughal Empire between 1571 and 1585, but it was abandoned because of water shortages. The white building is the tomb of the Sheikh Salim Chishti, a great saint. Akbar built this for the saint because the saint had given him blessings for his young son, Prince Salim.
Nice music.
किसका कैमरा है?
Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary is also known as the Kiloladio Ganja Sanctuary, is famous for containing over 350 species of birds over the 29 square kilometer marshy area.
Beautiful photograph. Cycle here, dog.
The cormorants have to dry out their feathers after each dive or they will sink and drown. I took a rickshaw ride out to see some of these beautiful birds and other animals. My driver was very knowledgeable and could spot animals when I couldn't see a thing but marsh and bushes. I saw but was unable to photograph owls, eagles, hawks, mongoose, and a big green snake. The kingfisher was my favorite bird because of his beautiful blue, green, and brown markings. It is India's national bird. There's also a great India pale ale beer named Kingfisher.
है ना बहुत टाइम लगता है एक के नीचे भी ब्लैक बर्ड वाइट नेटवर्क
Huge.
The Tiger Fort overlooks Jaipur from a sheer ridge to the north. It was built in 1734 and extended in 1868.
Okay, here's the city below.
The sky was a bit smoky, so the view of the city below was somewhat obscure. Taj Mahal was built in 1799 as a pleasure palace for the royal family. I'm on a morning tuk-tuk drive to catch the morning light on the Hawa Mahal, or Palace of the Winds. On our way, we pass a few of the many camel-driven wagons and people up early on their way to work. This is a stunning example of Rajput artistry with its pink, delicately honeycombed sandstone windows. It was originally built to allow women of the royal household to watch the everyday life activities below. This snake charmer works the tour bus tourists that get out to take pictures of the Hawa Mahal. The Jaipur City Palace is in the heart of the old city and is divided into a series of courtyards, gardens, museums, and buildings. The son of the last Maharaja and his family still reside in a part of this palace.
We are going to see some food. Yeah. But my mother and I went to Mumbai.
You thought that actually I am a bachelor?
Yeah.
But they are just acting as a bachelor.
The Mubarak Mahal, or Welcome Palace, built in the late 19th century by Maharaja Singh II as a reception center for visiting dignitaries, is now a museum featuring collections of royal costumes, clothing, and armory. This group includes Room to Read staff members Aaron Kion Ganju, Chief Operating Officer, Sunisha Aja, India Director, along with Bindi and Nita, her new staff members. Other Room to Read people in the group include Aaron's mother, Adalu Kion, two sponsors from Chicago, Alana and Tina, and me. The other people in the group are from our Room to Read partner, Vishhaka. The Vishhaka and Room to Read representatives are giving us a summary of the various projects they carry out throughout the Rajasthan region. Projects include health awareness, women empowerment, micro-lending, library and school projects, teacher training, and other community development projects.
Other librarians or libraries had
A program of rural libraries in 32 villages. Out of these 32 libraries, 16 libraries are in the schools and 16 are community libraries.
To launch libraries, they can use puppets, puppet shows and folk songs. They prepare songs, basically they prepare songs around libraries, for example, then they do it in villages to promote a particular issue. And through medium of drama, folk songs and puppets.
because these folk songs and puppet show etc. They are a part of a cultural life in Rajasthan. So people are really interested, and the inherent idea it gets transmitted easily.
Well, I hope the goats don't eat the books.
Resource center.
The colors, you mean? It's like they call us for nature.
How many children come to this resource center?
Nita is asking the children what books they like to read and what happens when they take the books home to share with their families.
उनको तो महाभारत अच्छी लगी, आपको कौन सी अच्छी लगी? और Balhans or Champak.
Are you asking them their favorite book?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
This is a children's magazine.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, hold on here.
As I told you on the way, no? Like,
Okay, Vishnu.
that connection of
Vishnu?
the kind of knowledge
You Vishnu?
everyday life.
Ah, hold up yours.
So like through this nodal library.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Okay, now you? Your name? Yeah, yours.
So they are conveying that meaning that you can use the book in the library for enhancing your
Okay, the writer.
Right.
like you can get different kind of feelings, or you can be how
to do it better, yeah.
all the types of things that they are using this to that purpose.
Okay, so then they can see a real connection between their daily life. And then you also teach them like that just generally they'll be more healthy
Yeah.
if they know more about
So that's why the as they mentioned that lot of environmental.
Our partner, Vishaka, uses music and puppet shows to promote interest in their various projects, including a component that encourages reading and making use of the library.
हम भी बोलेंगे।
चलो तो सुनो।
हाँ सुनाओ।
हमारे बाबा मोटर गाड़ी चलावे,
हमारे बाबा मोटर गाड़ी चलावे, हमारे हाँ दीदी हाँ
बना हुआ है। और वो उसके पहली तरफ में है, उसमें है अपने मानव शरीर के अंग कुछ अंदर के,
वो पास में दीदी वो
हाँ तो उसमें वो अंग है अलग अलग है ना।
हाँ
तो अपन को क्या करना है कि उनमें भी लय पैदय लिखा हुआ है और इनमें भी लय पैदय लिखा हुआ है, तो उन लय पैदयों के हिसाब से
like all come up and say they want to.
I don't know what to watch from English has become a part of Hindi language now. Yeah. They will understand it.
ये नटरा इंपोर्ट वाली आधे आरी मारी मर गई मन चंदा क्या फोन वाली ये मारी 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 अरे मारी मारी तक मारी अरे मारी मारी तक ढोने दो
बोल ऊँट को ढोने दो,
नहीं फंसेगा बालू में,
नहीं फंसेगा बालू में,
बालू में भी ऊँट चला,
बालू में भी ऊँट चला,
ऊँट चला भाई ऊँट चला, ऊँट चला भाई ऊँट चला, हिलता झुलता ऊँट चला,
हिलता झुलता
कभी नाक को कभी कान को कभी नाक को कभी नाक को
कभी नाक को
ऐसे बोल कभी नाक को
कभी नाक को
कभी कान को
कभी कान को
मलते इब्न बतूता
मलते
इब्न बतूता
इसी बीच में निकल पड़ा फिर
इसी बीच में निकल पड़ा फिर
उनके पैरों का जूता
उनके पैरों का जूता
उड़ते उड़ते जूता उनका
उड़ते उड़ते जूता उनका
जा पहुंचा जापान में
जा पहुंचा जापान में
इब्न बतूता खड़े रह
मोची की दुकान में,
मोची की दुकान में।
यहाँ पे घुसती है हवा, यहाँ हवा चलती है, चलती है हवा, ये ना है। आप बताओ।
कभी बात नहीं है बेटा, बैठो ना थोड़ी बुलाए, बैठो बुलाए।
आप बताओ।
तो आप ये रहनवाल पढ़ने जाता है
तो अभी आखिरी क्या नाम है? नहीं टीचर हम कहीं गलोर जी अभी जो आखिरी पुस्तकालय कमेटी
We were on these dusty, bumpy, and washout farmer roads for over an hour, getting ourselves to the second and third villages. We toured the third library and met with the library committee while other villagers gathered around us.
उसका रूप मानते हैं भगवान का जो आए हैं आप.
Guests are considered.
They honored us by giving us red tikka blessings on our foreheads.
What are those books about? What are the
बोलो दो
ये न समझे यहाँ
ये बस तो फोटो हो जाए
फोटो ले लीजिए. Yes. आराम वाली फोटो. आज बाबू सही आवत है. फोटो आन तो करना.
Come on.
As we leave the villages in the Jaipur region, I end my tour of India by spending time in Agra with emphasis on viewing the Taj Mahal from early morning to the last call for prayers at sunset.
Okay, here's the courtyard to the Taj Mahal. Go through here to see it.
This is early morning, and it's fairly quiet as groups of pilgrims proceed to the Taj Mahal. It is now late morning, and the crowds are beginning to swell, and the noise level has increased. The Taj Mahal is now much brighter in the midday sun. These craftsmen are working on inlay tables and objects in much the same way as was done centuries ago.
Oh, so he's inlaying.
Yes, this work is known as inlay work on the surface of the marble.
So what's the candle for? What's the candle for?
This is for the fixing, joining the one leaves.
Oh, the glue?
Yes, with the help of glue. And the artisan is giving the shape of semi-precious stone like flower, stain, and many other designs.
मेरे ऊपर मैं साल हो गया सड़क देखे नहीं चौराहे तक आता हूँ all vegetable color permanent color never get fat at least 100 years time and our all of the dye is a moth proof and stain proof you can split wine biscuit tea dozen stand got it. Big muscles.
Okay, they're washing the carpets. Okay, this is stretching. Now let me see, the red will be different going one way to the other, right?
And they will
Okay, this is 4 feet by 6?
Yes, sir.
And so what kind of Diwali discount is this one?
Very good discount for you.
Emperor Akbar built the Agra fort in 1565 with additions continuing through 1658. It became a prison for Shah Jahan after his son Aurangzeb seized power in 1658.
So from there they bring this red stone and they give it this type of shape. So with the help of their tools they make such types of lines over there. And after making these types of lines, with the help of this type of tools and this type of tools, they will break it and do this inlay and engraving work.
Thank you.
As the sun sets over Agra and the Taj Mahal, my first tour of India draws to an end. I was so pleased and privileged to see the beginnings of the great work of Room to Read in India.